boy, oh boy. Okay, hello, greetings, fellow insomniacs. It is your friend in fright, good old Chunky Larry. Welcome to the Sinister Creature Con. I know that it is very hot and that you guys are... Lordy, that's hot. So back down here is what you're saying. It is a very hot day, and we're about to heat it up just a little bit more because we have an absolute legend getting ready to come up onto this stage. She has starred in several films ranging general decades and has worked with everybody from Jack Hill to John Carpenter to Quentin Tarantino and more. I am thrilled, pleased beyond belief, to be able to say, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Pam Grier. So you gotta use one of these.
What'd you say? Your room key? What was that? Okay. When I walk through the lobby, everyone hands me a room key for me to party with you. That's why I come here. So where would you like this?
Just clip it on your little
Where?
deal. On your. I'm not gonna do it for you.
You can. Like Stan Lee said. You know, Stan Lee, my mentor. He came to one of the Comic Cons and we hung out together, and when we walked in together, you know Stan Lee, Mr. Marvel. Yeah. The walls fell, the roof blew up, everything. Stan Lee. And so when he was writing Monica Rambeau and Misty McKnight, based on me, and you know Amanda Waller, who takes care of the superheroes.
Yeah, it's hot.
And so people would ask him, well, how come Pam doesn't wear a cape? And he says, Pam doesn't need a cape. She just walks in and slaps the shit out you. And I said, my reputation, that's why I can't get a date. Anyway, so
It's not me.
Is it me?
Yeah, so I'm going to...
Go ahead.
Nice. Is that good? I am going to die now.
At least his fingers.
There you go.
Okay, we got it. So thank you for coming. And one of my reasons that I wanted to just introduce you, because it's important that we're all here. Because at some point, me as the actor, interpreter, wants to thank the audience for supporting the film industry. And for my career, Quentin would love to be here. And so would John Carpenter. And so would so many of my bosses. Tim Burton, okay, Mars Attacks. We could go on and on. And so when I'm like an emissary and a representative, I just said, you know, they all would love to be here, but they can't. They have bills and they have children. I just have horses and dogs and dog hair. And when they asked me to the Oscar party this year, I can't come because I was hit in the head when I was a child. And I was 5 years old, and a chair from the kid behind me crushed my skull. I had a bleeding brain for 6 hours. I wasn't supposed to live. And it causes me to have seizures when I see the flashing strobe light. So I have worked in the industry around lighting, and I always ask the lighting technician, could he not point the lights towards my eyes? So I wear a hat. Me and Diane Keaton, for Palms, would wear a hat to keep the lights out of our eyes. With me, it's a seizure. She has another issue. So I'm still having a career 50 years later by letting someone know that I'm vulnerable and I can't look at certain lights. So that's not in the book, and we don't talk about things that, that make us feel weak in front of other people. But I'm here today to tell you about some really good things that are funny and make you laugh. So, should I sit down
By all means, have a seat, Pam.
on your lap?
Sure?
Sure, that'll cause a divorce. Okay.
I wish I was me too.
I wish I was mute. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so Pam,
Yes.
my personal favorite period of your career was when you were working in the Philippines, working with directors like Jack Hill on things like The Big Dollhouse, The Big Bird
Oh, the
Cage.
wet T-shirt movies.
Yes, Black Mama, White
They
Mama.
remember them too, jiggle, jiggle, wet, wet, and mosquito bites. And they said, is that your nipple? No, it's a mosquito bite. What do you want?
So, what was it like for you to be in a place like that where it's a complete culture shift, and a lot of films in that period of time were being made in that location?
Yeah, they're for $1.
Yeah, that's why they would do it.
That's why we did it.
Yeah.
But we were also being courted by a film industry in a remote place where they love films, but they don't have the equipment and they don't have the ability, and they didn't think they would have an audience. They didn't have theaters. So they came to us and saying, if you shoot here, it'll provide money so we can build a film society. And so that's why I came to express what we were trying to do globally and show our culture and them show us. And I literally, those 3 movies I did for Jack was just for tuition. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was going to be an actor. I was carrying a camera, I was doing my own makeup, and my stunt double, here's this little Filipino man, Kamusta Pocayo, and we had him painted brown with some carpeting on his head to look like a fro. I said, it ain't gonna work. And he was like to hear, I said, what you gonna do? But it was so precious that they would try to cover me and protect me by giving me a stunt man. And I said, oh, okay, it's cute, man. So you see how people would love movies and how we influence? And so I was willing to do that for tuition because I didn't think I was going to survive the Philippines. Snakes were everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we were eating snakes, so what can I tell you?
And one of the things that you did a lot, or at least a couple of times definitely in the Jack Hill films, is you showed your singing ability.
Yes.
And so were you always into music?
Yeah, I was in a gospel group in Denver called Echoes of Youth with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Really?
Philip Bailey, Andrew Woodfolk, and Larry Dunn. And when I came to LA to my first job off the Turner truck was to sing background for Bobby Womack. And then Bobby said, hey, I have a friend that needs some background singers tomorrow. He said, triple scale. I said, triple scale, how much is that? I need tuition. He said, $300. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was in my family's hunting Jeep, had no roof, no windows, no floorboards. It was a hunting Army Jeep, painted red with Black Panthers on the side. You're going to get me killed. So I said, okay. And so Bobby sends me over to CBS Records on Sunset, and it was Sly and the Family Stone. I'm going to be backing up. And with the Wonder Love, his background group, right, for scale. So after we sing with him for a minute, and we go with, and I went, wait a minute. That's Sylvester Stewart? I sold his records. Big fro, chamois friends, like, that's Sly and the Family Stone. Get out of... I didn't say fuck because there might be children in here. Fuck, shit, or damn, I tried to... So here I go in, and there's Sly. You know, I want to take you higher. I want to take you higher. Yeah. Hop on in the summertime. Everyday people. I'm everyday people. There is a yellow one that doesn't like the black one, that doesn't like the green one. Da, 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 da. Different strokes for different folks. Holy. I got to sing backup. With Wonder Love was Denise Williams, Sarita Wright, Minnie Riperton. Wonder Love. And I'm singing backup with them with my country ass. We all fall asleep. About 1 o'clock in the morning, in come, the elevator doors open, and there's 3 figures that come out, and the light shines down on them. There's 3. There's a big dark one in the center, and then 2 that are blonde hair on the side. And they walk by me, and I smell patchouli oil and weed. and it's Jimi Hendrix and Band of Gypsies. And I didn't tell you that Buddy Miles has just started the new Band of Gypsies. He's playing drums in the corner. I'm also a drummer. I play drums. Me and Questlove have the same drums. They're chrome. Anyway, that's how I first started. But I know I only have so much time here for everyone, so I wanted to share with you how I got the John Carpenter movie, which is a trans movie, first trans character. Hershey was a guy with Kurt in Escape from L.A. And John calls him, hey, Pam. Hey, it's John Carpenter. I said, no, it ain't. You punking me. Is this Ashley? She said, yeah, I want you to play a man. Oh, who is this? Really? He said, oh, you can do it. I said, what? He said, I'm going to pay you Oscar money. Okay, what you want me to do? And I said, how do I play a man with these? With this? What do I do? So anyway, you don't mind. There's no stage up here, so I'm going to come down and show you. This is how we win our roles as an actor. So I have to figure out, am I going to look like the Village People? And so I don't want to disappoint John. And how do I play a man? What do men look at and impresses them? Okay. So I look down, and I have to go to John's office at the Warner Brother gate, and my sock that I stuffed had flattened out. And I now have a flat bulge, Johnson, penis, dick, whatever you guys call it.
It happens to the best of us.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, I can't go in there like that. So I turn around and limp back to my rental car and I go, okay, I got to find a supermarket or something and find maybe a vegetable that looks like one of my old boyfriends. So I go up to, in the store, the pavilions, and literally I was like, oh my God, I got to find, and security's watching my ass, okay? So a sister in there with kind of Village People hair and Timberland boots and but they don't know what it is. And so I walk up to the vegetables, and I'm like, okay, there's yellow squash, summer squash. It's curved, but it's got a bulb. It looks like I have an infection. So I got a cucumber, and then the cucumber has these little knots like zits on the side of them. Now my dick's gonna look like it's got pimples and shit. I said, well, I got Oscar money. Okay, zucchini. Okay, I walk up to the zucchini, and there's this little lady watching me, and I go, and she goes, I said, I don't want to look like Captain Ahab walking with a wooden leg, damn it. And so I said, shit, and they're watching me. I said, I got to get out before they arrest me. So I pick up the zucchini and the cucumber just in case, even with the pimples, and I run out to the car. And I sit in the car and I go, okay, which one is zucchini? Which one is the right one? So I got, okay, which one reminds me of what boyfriend? Okay. Put it in, left side or right side? I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'm looking now. What side do men like? Okay, I don't care. So I got to Oscar money, Pam, focus. So I put it in. All right. So I walk across the parking lot and I say, hey, like the security guy, hey, what up, motherfucker? Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to get that Oscar money. Martin, Foxy Brown, Sheba, baby. And so I walk in there like, okay. I think I got it. Okay, it's the right leg or it's the left leg, that pimp. I said, how you doing? Hey, what's up, home? So I go into the office and I go, hey, LaQuisha, I'm Pam Grier and I'm here to see John Carpenter. And LaQuisha bigger than me. She can whoop my ass. She says, no, you ain't no Pam Grier. Yes, I am. I'm Pam Grier. Please let me in. Please. John Carpenter's waiting for me. And so she goes, okay, so 2 crew members are walking out. And they look at me. I say, hey, what up? Hey, what motherfucking shit? And they go, that guy really looks like Pam Grier. Ka-ching. And so she said, John, we'll see you now. Okay, thank you, LaQuisha. Please don't hurt me. Okay, thank you. Before she recognized it is Pam Grier being stupid. And so I'm going in. And so I go up to John's door, all the guys are walking. Hey, look at it. I wish I could walk like that, brother. Hey, motherfucking shit. That's Martin. I'll go up to John's door. I don't do like a little knock knock. I just bam, bam, bam. John comes to the door. He want to know who's fucking kicking his door in. And I go, what it is, motherfucking shit. And he starts laughing and coughing like he's having a heart attack. And I'm like, I killed John Carpenter with my stick. My stick killed him, oh my God. And so he calls Kurt. Kurt comes over and he starts laughing. And they said, oh my, they're both laughing like crazy. You got the job. And for the dick, you got another Oscar money. So that's what we go through. Being silly, being fun, expressing ourselves, connected to everybody. Because they wanted to see a man. We had no history of what it would look like, except with breasts, sissises. And so that's how I won, and I got Ghost of Mars from him after that. Yeah. And when he called me up, and I said, what kind of money? Oscar money. Okay. So I've created a legacy that I wasn't afraid to play a trans character, which people didn't talk about then. And then when I was asked to play a serial killer, like Hannibal Lecter in Cinnamon, that's on Tubi. And I have a therapeutic writing program because of my therapy. And there are kids that they have problems with their legs and muscles and bones and, Down syndrome and everything. And so I don't charge. But I make the parents write so that the parents will have a comprehensive conversation with that child or adult about what they discovered in riding my horses that are all rescues. Because I'm considered special needs. Can you tell? And so this one child, Precious, she lost a lot of her body, birth defects, everything. And people would tease her about how she moved and how she walked. And so you see some actors do, like the cheat, I'm limping, I'm crazy, But she said no, because I always let her know she walked normally. That was her normal. And I said, I want to know how you do that. And she said, well, I don't have legs. I don't have muscle. I don't have things. So that's how I walk. And I said, well, that's normal. Teach me how to be normal, like you. And she did. When I walked across the parking lot into the office, like she does, like she taught me, everyone thought I was really disabled. And people came to my aid. And so when I walked in, everyone thought something was wrong. It hurts. Your muscles aren't missing. Your bones and your veins and your whole body. And I would have to prepare to walk normally, like my patient. And let me tell you, I feel it to be able to walk and be normal and keep my balance and get a job and walk in and say, I'd like to apply for a job. Can I do it? I don't want to be turned away because I'm different. And so when you put yourself in other people's shoes, literally, not to indulge, then you can understand no bullying, empathy. We're not responsible for how many X and Y chromosomes we're born with. And that this little girl said, I want to be normal. And I said, that's normal. And because of her, I got one of the greatest roles ever. And everyone said, you're going to win an Oscar. I said, I just want to be Hannibal Lecter and kill everybody and eat your brain. Okay? That's all. That's all I want to do. But they literally thought, and let me tell you, you feel it when you spend hours walking around with, like someone has to do it all day, and in school, and be normal. So I learned a lot from being in the industry and from all of you being so generous to me so I can have 30 horses that teach people how to love themselves and their parents. And when the parents rode, first the mom said, oh no, I got to get my nails and my roots done. So when the parents rode and had a great conversation with their child, now they're not lonely. And then when the dad came and he started riding, not because it was free, but because he saw the joy and the connection of his childness and childhood, the inner child, and the father and the mother changed towards their child. And a lot of children and in life, and do volunteerism until you're born with a child that, and it'll break you. To have an ADA child, financially, spiritually, and you got 5 other children. So somebody needs, and it seemed like, and I learned from all of you, that the parents needed more therapy than the children. And from it, I get people who come follow me wherever I go and thank me. And it's nothing. They said, I wear my mom's bell bottoms. They're older than most of you in the room. But I learned from you every day. And when I wake up breathing, I'm going to have a good day. And you guys are here. That's why I came outside to thank you. Not to impose, but to thank you. So, did I answer all your questions?
I don't even
be the same.
I don't even remember asking those questions.
Foxy!
Hey, Foxy. Hey, Foxy Brown. Or how Martin would say, Foxy Brown. Shiva baby.
We definitely,
Martin. Didn't you love Rummy Room?
we definitely have to talk about Foxy Brown, but I
But
want
when I come back, I'm rebooting everything. Everybody wants me to reboot everything we're doing 50 years later, so it'll be interesting to see how we've evolved.
Yeah.
Genetically, financially, gender, religious, everything. So I have one movie where some women are running from a fatwa from their family. They're going to be beheaded for being gay. So they come to me, Kit, at the L word, and we hide them and we sneak them out of Canada and take them to a safe place. You know, so yeah, that's one of my projects.
That's amazing.
I think my 30 minutes are up. The policeman is over here.
Okay.
So I know Alex is supposed to be coming. You know, Alex Winter and I were in Bill and Ted. And we've remained friends ever since. And when George Carlin steps out of me, when I unzip, there's George Carlin inside of me. That's John Carpenter, right? You know, that's, hey, come on, we had fun. But George Carlin was a master. He was like, to me, he was like a prophet, you know, and things, so.
Well, the one thing I want to say before I let you go is that the world of cinema has been drastically changed because of you. And the way that women are paid in cinema is based on the work that you were able to do.
Oscar money.
The way that
And I didn't win an Oscar.
the way that black people are represented is largely based on
Well, you have to
and your
understand,
work.
not everybody sits and grows up and is around black people, or Asian, or Filipino, or Japanese, or other people of other cultures. They're working hard to pay bills and go to school, so not everyone has that exposure. So when we can bring it to you, when Alamo Drafthouse turned that
I'm gonna
cinema
stand up, too.
to me, let me tell you, they said it's because when I go into the theater, and they come out and drink beer and wine and everything else, it's dinner and a movie, you go into this darkness, and the theater brings you this universe and places and adventure that you've never been to. That's why so many people go to see movies, because we don't get to go there. We can't get on the planes anymore. It's too costly. We have TSA. We don't want to do that anymore. So, but anyway, so with that said, they bring us, we bring you other cultures, good, bad, and ugly. And so we learn about there's a group of people, and I'll leave this with you, about freedom, which is about Juneteenth, all of us, women's movement, Father's Day every day. There's a group of men in Afghanistan that want their daughters to get an education. You know it's against the law. And it's against, they can't see my cleavage or see me hold a gun, they'll be killed. So they hide my movies. So these fathers want their daughters to get an education. So they build this little tiny school on the side of a mountain. These fathers, farmers, little Afghanistan farmers. Looks like rock, all rock. And their daughters are in there learning to read and write and count. And they want to learn. They want their daughters to go to school. And the government finds out. And they kill the fathers that built the school, burned down the school, and they literally gave the girls to become child brides for their culture. And there's nothing I can do but observe it and realize how fortunate we are to be here, not at their expense, but that we have so much not to squander and enjoy, and know that our schools aren't going to be destroyed for girls getting an education, or our LGBTQ students getting an education, or a Catholic or a Muslim. You know, so when we have all of us here, I'm elated, I'm happy. When I come here, and that's why I wanted to walk down the line and thank all of you personally. You know, not because I have chrome nails and, you know, did my hair, but I wanted to thank you because I've got all these rebooting to do and I don't know when I can come back and hang out with you with new experiences, and I hope you'll bring more to our young students. There's some in here that are doing shorts for scholarships, and that would be so lovely. Anybody can make a film with a phone. Come on, movie. So what I'm saying is thank you for all that you bring, the money, the time, just sharing your feelings, good, bad, and ugly. And it has allowed me to do great things to return to you, and I really want to thank you. And I'm going to have a vodka martini afterwards. Thank you.
Oh, Pam, I want to thank you. Hold on.
And it wasn't a mosquito bite either.
Not just for that.
In winter, it can cut glass.
Not just for that, I want to thank
Your
you.
nipples get hard and stuff. It's time to quit. I'm cold. Let's go in and have a drink. Damn it. That's why everybody goes skiing, so the nipples can get hard.
What is life? What is life? It really, Pam.
Isn't that? Aren't we lively? I'm glad I could bring some laughter to you today.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much, Pam. I have grown up with your work.
You ain't been right since.
You have been an inspiration and a hero for a lot of people, and it has been the honor of my life to just share the stage with you for this little bit of time, even though most of the time you were off of the stage. This is everything to me.
I didn't want you to see my flat dick.
Same. I didn't want you to see mine.
I had to represent every man in here, you know, with a zucchini.
That's right.
And not the summer squash that curved and had a bulb.
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't want the pimples either, right?
The pimples are okay. It's just
Okay.
that the infection was going to scare everybody.
It's kind of Ron Jeremy energy, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I was thinking how I don't want to disappoint John Carpenter or you. And so now you know, now you're going to go back and uptick Escape from LA and try to look at the crotch, right? and the questions when you come back, I'm like, well, which boyfriend was it?
Watch party at my house if you guys are interested.
Was it Richard Pryor? Was it Kareem? Which one was it, you know?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was Freddie Prinze.
Nah.
No.
It wasn't Freddie.
Really?
I love Freddie, but it wasn't Freddie's dick.
Okay, so then it's a 50-50 shot. Let's see. Basketball player, stand-up comedian. Which one?
No, that was the.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was Richard Pryor.
Stop it. No, we
No?
played. He was an athlete. We played tennis. I loved his children. No, it was someone else who was not even in the business.
Okay.
You know, he was really short. What were you thinking?
I'm thinking
Just because a man is short, as we call them shouties now.
I'm thinking that this weekend doesn't get better than this. And everybody, one last time, round of applause for Pam Grier. Go visit her at her table. Get a room key to her at her table. Pam, thank you so much.